Hey, good morning, folks. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Thanks for joining me on the MLive Morning Weather Update. And now we're starting to get quite a bit to talk about here. That doesn't last long when we have quiet weather here in Michigan. And it looks like we're going to start to go back into kind of a stormy phase as we get into, looks like next week. I'll show that to you here in just a moment. Let's get going. Hey, good morning, John Robert Williams, back from Malawi. What an experience there. So what are we going to talk about here? We're going to talk about a quiet day today, sneaky snow on the way for Saturday, and a stormy pattern starting to emerge for next week. And in between those two things, another headline, a quick, fairly significant warm-up for Sunday into Monday. All right, let's get to it here and show you what's going on. First off, sunshine today? Nope. Look at the clouds off to the west. Those are dry clouds, and I'll show that to you on radar here in just a moment. The one thing I do want to show you is look out in the Pacific. Stormy pattern emerging. Yeah, look at that. You're seeing the west coast of the U.S. on the far right side of your screen, and you're seeing a stretched out area of tropical moisture and storm systems embedded in that, and that will come at us in a series of storm systems next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday or so, and that'll be our next round of storminess here in Michigan. As far as the radar goes, right now, nothing on it, so traveling conditions pretty good today. There have been a couple little spots of freezing drizzle this morning, but it's not anything that's accumulating. So you got a quiet day, you got a light wind day, you got a cloudy day, but a good travel day too. All right, here is our European model. Remember, this comes out of the European Weather Center, and it's generally better at 3, 4, 5 days out. That's why we like to show it to you. We do have models that are better than the European at certain things, like short-term snowfall forecasts, but in the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 day time period, the European is better, and it's not perfect either. Donna Balcony wants spring. Well, we did have a countdown of spring on our Michigan Weather Group page, so you could probably still find that. All right, we're into Friday now, and nothing going on. Maybe Friday just a rain or a snow shower, but here's that sneaky snow that I'm talking about. This is Saturday morning. Look at across the lake into Wisconsin and the UP, and then this is the middle of the day, 1 in the afternoon. So see how that storm system drops southeast from Canada and kind of peaks right over Michigan? It's a weak system, but it's still, I think it's a 1 to 3 inch snow. I'll show that to you in a moment too. That moves out quickly by Saturday evening, and then here comes the warm air for Sunday. See the red lines? That means we're above freezing, and see we're several red lines into the warm air. That means we're way above freezing. I'll show that to you. Hey, good morning, Tom Ramsey. And Annie Kocher, yeah, we could still have winter, but the time is starting to tick on it. In other words, we've used a lot of winter time period up, and if we get back into winter, it's going to be a shorter period. All right, here's Monday, and that is a warm pattern for Monday as the storm system forms. We're on the warm side of it at first, Monday night into Tuesday, and that's that first wave of storminess that's out in the Pacific. Let's see. Stacy says, heading home from Georgia today. Would be nice to see the sun even for a minute. Well, stay in Georgia if you want to see the sunshine. Let's see. How's the weather for the 7th of February? Because we're going to Grand Rapids, head to Florida. You're going to want to watch it at that time period, Elizabeth Platt. Not to say that it'll be bad, but at that time period, Michigan is into the colder side, and we've got that series of storms. So too early to tell for you, give you an answer on that, but I will say you will want to watch the weather at that point. So we're into Tuesday night, then we're into Wednesday. Okay, this is February 5th, and that's our next indication of accumulating snow, and the mess moves on to the east. So in other words, we are going to go through various weather regimes, let's call it, here in the next 7 days. All right, as far as close up here on Saturday. That's Saturday morning, 7 a.m. That's the middle of the day, so you can see how the snow comes across lower Michigan and then moves out Saturday evening. And as far as accumulations go, this is what the European says. European says it's a 1 to 3 inch snow, and that seems to be pretty logical there. So you're not going to have a huge snowstorm on Saturday, but you also could have 1, 2, maybe 3 inches of snow that you're driving on the roads. If it doesn't melt, and I'm starting to think that the temperatures are cold enough aloft that it's going to be mostly snow. Jason King, any long-term projections? Seems like above normal temps so far, early spring. I'm going to be talking about that today, hopefully having a post up on that. If nothing changes, yes, early spring on the way. Jim McGuire says rain coming to Punta Gorda, Florida. And good morning, Diane Ritter. Good morning, Ken Myers. Thanks for watching. So there's your little snow on Saturday. And one last thing I'll leave you with is the high temperature forecast. Let me get this centered good for you here. Okay, high temperature forecast. We'll start today. We're about 32-ish in a lot of lower Michigan. Again, the steady temperatures continue with this pattern. And this is Thursday, about the same. This is Friday, maybe a degree or two warmer. This is Saturday, and this is the National Weather Service forecast using the model data. But now with what we're seeing with snowfall, I think this is probably a little too warm. So instead of the 38s, you're probably going to be more like 32 to 34s, which also, again, says that the roads could melt off if they're salted and plowed when we get that 1, 2, 3 inches on Saturday. So it may not be too terrible. Now, this is Sunday. We get back into the 40s, and this is Monday, well into the 40s ahead of that storm system, maybe 50 degrees in the southern part of the state. And on Tuesday, we start to transition to the colder air, and that kind of temperature configuration says accumulating snow somewhere because we go from 40s to near 50 to 20s back in northwest lower. That's that kind of temperature configuration that breeds a storm or is usually present during a storm system. So we'll keep an eye on that. So there you have it. A couple of quiet travel days. Saturday's a sneaky snow. You won't get places real fast on Saturday, so just be prepared for that. If you haven't heard about any weather systems, you thought nothing was going to happen, you might want to prepare yourself a little bit for Saturday, leave early, or wait until it's done if you don't want to drive on any snowy roads. And then much warmer Sunday, Monday, much colder after that, and back to storminess, probably back to winter by the time we get to Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. And that might last, it looks like, maybe a week or two. Imagine that. Winter for a week or two here in Michigan. Hey, thanks for joining me. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. You've been watching the MLive Morning Weather Update every morning, Monday through Friday, and on the weekends